Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Division E quarterfinals of the Nexus Gaming Series. This matchup tonight between Illidancing Queens, the rank 2 seed after the initial round robins, going up against Freedonia, the rank 7 team here. Make sure that my casting overlay is set up and ready to go. We are in lobby, just waiting on the ready ups from the teams. Looking forward to a nice, fun match here on Infernal Shrines. Illidancing Queens with the higher rank opts for first map pick, banning out Battlefield of Eternity and Hanamura Temple. Freedonia banning out Braxis Holdout and Towers of Doom. Illidancing Queens opting to take us here to Infernal Shrines for game number 1 of this Division E quarterfinals matchup. The winner of this match will go up against FC Hong Kong. That's OG Geo in the chat and his crew. As we are starting the draft here for game number 1. And there I am. I fixed all my stuff tonight so you can see my beautiful face, my Pikmin shirt with the yellow Pikmin being cut out by the green screen. As we start up this match 1 draft here between Illidancing Queens and Freedonia. I also updated my Olyobs, was not updated yesterday. Why am I getting notifications from Discord? Let's just go ahead and close Discord out entirely. This should work. Just get me off Discord. No notifications in from Discord. As we do see the Rhaegar ban, Rhaegar, popular healer for Born to Shine on the side of Illidancing Queens, so not a surprising ban here. Gazlo banned out on the other side, very strong meta hero in general, as well as I believe a strong hero from the side of Freedonia. Very strong on Infernal Shrines. Probably Gazlo's best map, in fact, is Infernal Shrines. He has a lot of point control, a lot of clumped up areas on this map when it comes to fighting over those objectives. Makes Gravel Bomb get a ton of value. And Diablo, most played hero by JakeBot so far this season. Not a surprising tank ban, very strong hero overall. And there we see the Imperious ban on the side of Illidancing Queens, not wanting to deal with potential Imperious plays from the side of Freedonia. And it is ETC, Freedonia's favored tank over the course of this season that gets picked up by Xion Zak. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Xion Zak or Xion. Let me know in the chat if you hear it. As we are waiting on the first picks here, I'd like to see healer picked up here. Maybe an Anduin, very contested healer pick here. We do see Joanna and Orphea. Joanna, very, I would say like average middle of the road tank. Very standard kind of, if you're going to have a tank, you can't go wrong with Joanna. And, you know, you want a tank in these sorts of situations. And we got Orphea, very strong damage dealer for the side of Illidancing Queens. And there's the Anduin pickup. Very contested between these two teams. Both healers like to play a lot of Anduin. Anduin Joanna could have been a nice, strong Light Bomb Blessed Shield combo for the side of Illidancing Queens, so not surprised to see that taken away on the side of Freedonia. And the Vala pickup, standard damage for Freedonia here. Going to be looking to dish out lots of hero damage with that Vala. Going to still need a little bit of clear on the objective here, though, for Freedonia. Orphea providing plenty of clear. And we do see the Tassadar banned out. That's a nice clear damage options. Pepperbutt, you got to chill it. You got to chill it in the chat. I'll let this one through. You got to chill it. No, you can say babies. You can't say the other thing without my approval first. I gotta keep my chat clean. Calm down, Pepperbutt. We do see the Cassia picked up for the side of Illidancing Queens. And Deckard picked up as the healer, so very strong around here now. Yeah, Anduin's great. I'll agree with you there, Pepperbutt. But Cassia and Deckard very solidly rounding out the damage, and healers very, very strong.
This realm needs me.
Li Ming on the side. So still not a lot of clear here. Leoric will bring in some shrine clear. Li Ming has a little bit of difficulty fighting over these shrines because of how many minions are in the way. So oftentimes her orbs and her missiles will get eaten up by a minion in the middle of a shrine fight. But as long as you're cognizant of that and fight around it, Ming can still get a ton of value here. Leoric, simply a very strong offlaner, able to get a little bit of double soak in. And Zool coming in to match up against the Leoric. Also lots of double soak potential here. I am looking at this draft, and I feel like I have to give it over to the side of Illidancing Queens. I don't know if Freedonia has enough clear on the shrines, but I do like the potential of the Leoric Entomb into something like a mosh pit with the Li Ming and Vala damage follow-up. Could be a very strong wombo combo from the side of Freedonia. I think that Illidancing Queens has a little bit better shrine clear here between Cassia, Zool, Joanna, and Orphea here. Deckard also obviously bringing in some of that. How do I deselect? All right, we're going to try to deselect on Joanna later when a minion comes up. Let's get into the teams here, folks. Game 1. Let me switch over the overlay so that I am smaller and not in the way. Game number 1 here between the two teams. Illidancing Queens with Born to Shine playing Deckard, Jakebot playing Joanna, Yotaru playing Zool, Zetzrin playing Orphea, and Dax playing Cassia. And on the right-hand side, we have Freedonia with Duke playing Li Ming, Dravon playing Anduin, Simp Slayer, wonderful name, on the Leoric, Korsakov on Vala, and Jeanzak on ETC. Let's get this out of your face. Let's get the talents up. Let's pick a minion that's about to die. To get that selection off my screen, and here we are set up for the beginning of this match. We do see a little bit of a brawl hitting in mid, but both teams knowing exactly what to do. Head out, just get the clear and pop between the two lanes, which you see off lane between Zool and Leoric. Zool's not had a chance to clear this wave yet, but we'll get it under his own towers. Looks like the side of Illidancing Queens just slightly ahead on the 4-man rotation here. Going to be about a wave ahead in soak until this mid lane gets cleared up. And already up onto their camp as soon as it spawns in. Let's take a look at the level 1 talents as Freedonia also looks to go onto their camp. We do have Field Study out of Deckard, so a lot of healing potential here out of the Deckard. Hold Your Ground out of Joanna, so going to be able to walk away from some more of that ETC lockdown. Shackler, Ancestral Strength, and Charged Strikes. They're pretty standard choices here, looking like a trait build for Orphea. And on the side of Freedonia, we do have Renew, Ossian Renewal, Hot Pursuit, Progrock. Hot Pursuit, Progrock, and Aetherwalker. So it looks like standard builds here for both teams. Hot Pursuit going to be a spicy one as we get later into this game. We do see, Illidancing Queens just managed to stay about a whole wave ahead here in the rotations. We do see Ruby picked up Eternal Retaliation. Lots of healing between Field Study and Ruby. The spell power increase on these Ruby potions will cause them to heal for quite a lot, which is nice on these big congested points, right? So looks like going to be a ton of healing coming out from Deckard at the cost of a little bit more reliable CC in the form of Sapphire at level 1 there, and a little bit of burst protection in the form of the shield potions. You see Jailers, Chaotic Assault, so full trait build and Inner Light from the Cassia. Eternal Retaliation, big fights over these points. Eternal Retaliation will cause a lot of resets on that W. Looks like Freedonia getting the early clear as Illidancing Queens opting to try and get some poke damage out, but both teams just about even again as ETC steps up into the point to try and push them away, fighting very cautiously here over the first point. Both teams generally even in XP here, so Illidancing Queens should be hitting level 7s a little bit sooner. We do see Leoric, though, soaking top lane, so catching up in that XP deficit, which is basically null at this point. We do see Illidancing Queens gets a lot of damage out onto the ETC. However, ETC pulled out by the Anduin. Leap of faith. Keeping him alive. He's going to reset 4 health and mana for this defense as Freedonia gives over the first point. Level 7 still not online. Oh no. Li Ming in a very bad position. Gets caught out by the side of Illidancing Queens. And a first blood drawn by Cassia there with the charge follow-up. Good job tanking the jump here from Anduin. Getting that Punisher separated from the rest of the team. Looks like Illidancing Queens saying, alright, just take the well. ETC getting very low from the Punisher, 200 health there. And a full wall, camp, and well taken for the side of Illidancing Queens off that first Punisher. So well done for the side of Illidancing Queens. They have just a slight lead here in XP. That will just from the structures. You can actually look exactly what is causing it. Yep, pretty even in minions. In fact, slightly ahead here on Soak. Just a slight structure lead. And a slight camp lead as well. Well, I say slight. It's actually a pretty significant camp lead. Head back to the level 7 talents. We do see Holy Reach and Blessed Recovery from Anduin. Not my favorite Anduin talents, but I have seen them get a lot of value. This will be especially good with the kind of chunk damage that Orphea can put out, especially with Insatiable coming online at level 7. We see Kanai's Cube reducing that hero damage, going to be a big issue for the Li Ming and the Vala. If they are struck by the Kanai's Cube, they will not be able to deal nearly as much burst here onto the side of Illidancing Queens, keeping their squishier members like Orphea alive. We do see, of course, Surge of Light here for Cassia. And Blessed Momentum, standard choice here from the Joanna. Going up into the top lane here, Illidancing Queens setting up to try and get some pressure on this top fort. Meanwhile, Leoric facing off against Li Ming in the bottom lane. Illidancing Queens saying, alright, we're going to clear this camp here. Maybe try to get some pressure onto this fort before objective spawns top. For those who don't know, it will be a Mortar Punisher. Big sleep coming from the Deckard as a follow-up to the Entomb by the Leoric. My brain kind of works sometimes. But so far, only Cassia taken down. The Entomb catching the Cassia out of position, getting the kill, the sleep preventing any further collapse from the side of Freedonia. So a good fight there from Freedonia puts them slightly ahead here in levels, and one member up in the top lane before this top shrine. We are going to see Vala reset for mana before this fight. Nope, never mind. Decides not to reset for mana. I'm going to take a quick sip of water from my invisible water bottle that doesn't actually turn invisible under my green screen. That's cool. It used to. Do see Freedonia with a little bit more control over this point, but Cassia dives in. The light bomb goes out on the Leoric, but will it be enough to save him? It is not. Li Ming also very low. Huge sleep landed by the Deckard. Leaves two low in the back. Vala and Anduin both low. Zool falls. The Vala and Anduin damage. Li Ming getting very brave, diving in 1v4, but does not pick up the kill on the Orphea. That is a 5-man team wipe for the side of Illidancing Queens and will decidedly hand them an advantage on this point. So far, Illidancing Queens been showing a strong performance, great control in these team fights, excellent sleeps put out by the Deckard Cain. Potions to keep everyone alive. Lots of healing coming out between Field Study and Ruby in the middle of these fights. A little bit of a spray by ETC. Don't think I didn't see that. And it is a Mortar Punisher on the side of Illidancing Queens here, ready to push in. We do see ults are all back online for the side of Freedonia. So maybe we'll try to dive past Punisher and get some damage in, or potentially just try to clear the Punisher quickly and hope that Illidancing Queens overstays their welcome. And there it is, the dive from ETC, the catch from Entomb. You can't unstoppable in an Entomb, but the return with the Blessed Shield, the sleep to keep ETC from diving in for the mosh pit. We do see Rain of Vengeance and Wave of Force as well. Neither used during that fight that I saw. Do see Illidancing Queens saying, all right, we got some good damage out. Let's go and take our top camp, put some pressure back into that lane, and then maybe try to get some value elsewhere on the map. Zool taking his own camp, while Freedonia opts to take the contested bottom camp. Meanwhile, Illidancing Queens saying, all right, if you're all going to show bottom camp, we are going to put pressure top. We will get this fort. We may even push onto your keep if you try to take our fort with that camp. Freedonia recognizing this, saying, all right, we can't push with the bottom. Let's just try to push a little bit mid so that we're on a closer rotation path to respond to the push top. We do see Illidancing Queens making a rotation down. Joanna a little bit away from her team, but she does have hold your ground, so she should have trait to get away from that. I did update my Aliabs, but I'm not seeing the medallion cooldowns here. So I'll go ahead and check that between games. Sorry about the yawn there, folks. It is a little late for me. And I have not been feeling too well today, so been a little bit under the weather. Hope you all understand. Appreciate everybody coming here to check out this match. We did see a pickoff on the Li Ming in mid lane. Big rotation from the side of Illidancing Queens. A big whiff from the ETC mosh, but Dax saying, all right, I'll dive right into your mosh pit. Unfortunately, not unstoppable during the dash. You see Encore as expected. Gloom here from Vala. You'll forgive me if I do not know the standard Vala build. I've never played her. Well, okay, I've played her a couple of times. Illidancing Queens going to move back up into the top lane, clear off this camp before it can get any meaningful siege done, and maybe look to rotate onto the Li Ming again as she is out in the middle of mid lane. But she does retreat. She has her team behind her. Baiting a little bit, but looks like Illidancing Queens recognizes it with the danger ping. So we move out onto this matchup here. Big fight breaking out. Huge light bomb, but it hits nothing. Maybe a little bit of lack of coordination. That's a massive Zool. Poison Nova there. Rain of Vengeance going to potentially keep Vala alive. There is the root coming down. The root will be enough as Crushing Jaws finishes Vala off. 3 for nothing down the level 16 Palantirs fight for Freedonia there. And it shows Illidancing Queens taking a big fight. And getting 3 quick picks. Entomb not enough to save them. However, Leoric's got short death timers. He's already back up. We do see ETC already back up, already got the mosh pit back. Vala will be up in a few moments. As midpoint starts, Zul will say, all right, I've got clear. You guys push in the mid lane. Now entering a 5v4 scenario here, though, for the side of Freedonia. Freedonia is going to want to look to take a fight if Illidancing Queens overstays their welcome. Recognizing the threat of the 5-man and the towers, Illidancing Queen takes a step back. Saying Creed of the Hunter is a little off, but everything else looks normal. Perfect. Thank you for the info, Black Stormer. Always appreciate learning a little bit more about the heroes I do not play. We do see EPC in a bit of a bad spot, but Anduin goes ahead and pulls him out. Leap of faith. We do see big lightning ball gets canceled early by the spacing between Li Ming and Cassia. Big Poison Nova putting out a ton of damage, but no follow-up on it, so it will just be healed back up by the Anduin. And a massive sleep from Deckard will turn the Zul kill into a double counter kill on ETC and Leoric and send the Frozen Punisher to the side of Illidancing Queens, trying to get that follow-up kill onto Vala. Jakebot eating a bit of damage from the Li Ming in the process. Let's see what the level 16's online. Stone Curse going to be dishing out a ton of damage, especially to the minions on those points. Whenever there are heroes under the point, hitting 2 or more heroes will increase the damage to everything that the scroll hits. So big wave clear moments for there on contested objective points like that. Imposing presence. It's like Q build in the latter half here. Echoes of Death and Decrepify. Wouldn't be surprised to see the anti-healing here at level 20, which will be online shortly. You see Dead Magic and Martial Law, so pretty standard stuff from the side of Illidancing Queens. I see a lot of Anduins taking Inner Focus lately. I'm not really sure if I like Inner Focus as much as I like Lightwell. Lightwell's just free, no mana healing. It comes back very quickly with Renew. It comes back very quickly as long as you are stacking those auto attacks. However, Inner Focus does increase the healing there on Flash Heal. Flash Heal has gotten lots of buffs recently, so 40%, a little bit more in just straight up value. And the damage reduction, or sorry, the cooldown reduction means that you can reset your Flash Heal to get quite a bit of healing out. We do see level 20s come online. Bottomless Flasks, upgraded shield here, so nice Captain America Joanna. It is Mortal Wound, in fact, out of the Zul, Eldritch Conduit, and Infinite Lightning here from Cassia. So Illidancing Queens wants to take a fight here. They're going to find Leoric out of place. The save goes out. Anduin pull goes out onto ETC to keep him alive, but that unfortunately leaves Anduin in a bad position, and 3 quick kills. I missed the one in mid by Zul onto the Li Ming, but 2 quick kills in the bottom, 1 quick kill in mid, and Illidancing Queens should be looking to end this game now. 3 members dead on the side of Freedonia. Looks like a clear chance to go onto the core. Chasing after the Vala, maybe a bit too much, but now that she's low, she's going to have a hard time contributing anything to this defense. As the core is quickly falling for Illidancing Queens, big mosh pit, but it gets interrupted before it can get too much value. And it does look like the core is going to fall here. Big sleep coming out from Deckard, catches no one, but it does not matter as the core has fallen. GG to both teams, and very well played for Illidancing Queens. Let's head off into the game summary and get the big head back here as we go ahead and look at the two team results here. A win for Illidancing Queens here on Infernal Shrines against Freedonia. 17 kills to 3. Just a couple of fights, I think, that did not go Fredonia's way. They kept picking fights down. Talent tiers, they took a fight down 16 when they didn't really need to. They were very close to having 16. And they took a fight down 20s, trying to get that soak, but not doing it safely. If you don't have vision of your opponent, you have to play safe. That is the biggest lesson I can learn from a match like that. Well done to both teams. Very strong fights out of the side of Illidancing Queens. Only 3 deaths total, right? See a lot of damage here out of Orphea. Let's look at the hero damage. Yeah, Orphea, Cassia, Azul getting massive damage out of his ults. So well done here. Tons of soak from the Zula as well, outclassing the Leoric by about 7k. We will be heading into game 2 shortly here. Thanks so much to everyone who will stick around. We are going to go to a short break, and I will be right back with some more Nexus Gaming Series action right after this. Alrighty, folks. We saw Illidancing Queens take game number 1 against Freedonia here on Infernal Shrines. We are now getting into the lobby for Tomb of the Spider Queen. Freedonia opting for that first hero pick this time around. Since they lost the match, they get to pick whether they want first hero pick or first map pick. They opted for the first hero pick, giving map pick over to the side of Illidancing Queens. Illidancing Queens saying, all right, we will take you to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Nice macro-heavy map here. Very small map. Rotations are close, but macro is still very important here. We are getting the teams into the lobby now. And we'll be starting this game for you all shortly. In the meantime, as we wait, let me see if I can find out anything about how things have been going for y'all. Thank you kindly for the follows, Pepperbutt, Zatoichi8, and Mr. Born to Shine 1. Truly appreciate the support here. 22 of y'all in chat right now. As we wait for this lobby to fill. We are getting the readies from teams here as we get set up for our draft number 2 in this best of 3 between Illidancing Queens and Freedonia. Freedonia is do or die at this point. They must win this game if they want to keep their tournament hopes alive. as we are in a single elimination bracket. The winner of this series goes on to play FC Hong Kong next week in the semifinals. Getting a ready from both teams. We will be starting here shortly. Alrighty, folks. Here we are. The matchup between Illidancing Queens and Freedonia continues. Illidancing Queens and Freedonia. Backwards mics or webcams are hard. Anyway, do we see the same bans as we saw in Game 1? Are they still worried about the Rhaegar, or is there something else that they want gone? Let's see what this first ban will be. I think the Cassia is a strong option here. Cassia giving them a lot of trouble, a lot of picks created by the Cassia in that first game. Gazlo banned out again. Says, nope, we will not let you play it. Does not matter which map you are on. We will not let it happen, folks. Gazlo first banned, snap banned on the side of Illidancing Queens. And the Deckard banned out as well. The sleeps were on point last game, so not surprised to see the Deckard. Illidancing Queens saying, all right, our bans worked in game 1. We're not going to change it up. Gazlo, Imperius, keep them out of our game. It is the Orphea picked up, so a contested damage choice between the two teams. Orphea snatched away by Duke here for the side of Freedonia. I want to see Anduin then counter-snatched by Illidancing Queens, just because it would be fun. Anduin and Joanna, always a strong combo here too, if they want to pick up such a combo. Joanna brings a lot of wave clear on a map where macro is quite important. There is the Anduin, and the ETC also snatched away. Yeah, Born to Shine has quite a large hero pool, hard to ban out everything. You see Joanna, so an opposite draft going so far right now. Orphea and Joanna on the side of Freedonia. Illidancing Queens taking Ando and an ETC, and the Malfurion follow-up from Draven on the side of Freedonia. One of his more comfortable healers, or his or her more comfortable healers, or there, I suppose I should say. We are awaiting the third ban here. It is, in fact, a Raynor ban. Not opting to ban the Vala. Instead saying, all right, we don't want you on Raynor. Raynor looks like a strong combo with what you have. Raynor, of course, very strong right now in the meta. It's a very settled sort of meta. So far, seeing actually a lot of like very meta heroes, very solid plays from both teams. That neither team's been opting to kind of flex into those weirder pools that sometimes you have one person that just plays a hero so well it doesn't matter, it's not meta. Leoric snatched away as well, and Greymane picked up, potentially trying to deny the Greymane from the side of Freedonia as they pick up one of their damage dealers and the Leoric for the offlane. We do see Diva and Maiev picked up for Freedonia. Maiev, a very strong hero when you can play around her engagements. And Diva, of course, very strong in the meta right now. Lots of damage output, lots of health. Almost basically 2.5 health bars. And the Tassadar for the clear makes a lot of sense on the side of Illidancing Queens. They banned it out in game 1. They said, all right, we're going to take it for game number 2. Very strong looking drafts from both teams. I actually want to give this draft to Freedonia. Partly because I want to see a game 3, but also because I think the Maiev with the Malfurion root, Diva and Orphea damage, and Joanna for the clears is going to be something that Illidancing Queens is going to have to be very careful to play around. Heroes like Greymane and Tassadar and Anduin have no real way of getting away from the Maiev. Maev's going to have a little bit of a hard time stepping up with the ETC pushback, but outside of that, as I scroll up because my mouse is towards the top of the monitor, as you can see, I got all the ops fixed, so we now have our beautiful, wonderful medallions. My brain. We now have our wonderful medallions here in the top bar. As I switch over to the in-game screen, get myself out of the way for you all, and we start talking about these teams. On the left-hand side, in the blue, we have Illidancing Queens with Yotaru playing Leoric, Born to Shine playing Anduin, Dax playing Greymane, Jakebot, of course, the AI on ETC, and Setzerin playing Tassadar. And on the right-hand side, we have a dancing Joanna played by Zionzak. We have Draven playing Malfurion. We have Duke playing Orphea. Dark playing the Maiev. And Simp Slayer on Diva for Freedonia. A little bit of a fight breaking out here in mid as we see Maiev trying to step up, get some of those extra nice, those mementos damage out. Neither team really brawling for too long, though, as Leoric goes to match Diva in the bottom lane. And the 4-man rotates to top. You see ETC dives in. Okay, so here, I'm going to say something now, and I'm going to get a lot of flack for it. I want to see ETC pick Crowd Surfer this game. I know it's not the standard pick. I know that the loudspeakers is the standard pick at 4, but I want to see him pick Crowd Surfer. And here's why. When you have a Tassadar on your team or the opposing team, Tassadar walls can interrupt your slide. Tassadar walls can prevent you from escaping if they are placed poorly. Well, not necessarily poorly, but they can be placed such that you're on one side of the wall you don't want to be on. You see Leoric pop Diva out of mech in bottom, giving a little bit of an XP gain over to the side of Illidancing Queens. But so far, very, very close match. Both teams very on top of these rotations. They've been on it the entire game. We do see Maiev going to take the camp for Illidancing Queens, so only showing 3 here in mid. Tassadar opting to clear top by himself to keep the rest of the 4-man mid, as I believe Leoric had to back and Greymane had to cover Soak here. Both teams have force come online, and it is loudspeakers. All right, well, none of the beautiful plays. We do see turn in not interrupted by the side of Illidancing Queens, so that's 26 gems now turned in for Freedonia. Nice early turn in. Gonna return with a 10 turn in of their own. It is uninterrupted from Freedonia. So a big part of this map is playing around these 2 turn in points. We do see Maiev trying to come down, get a little bit of a gank attempt on Leoric. Leoric, notoriously hard to gank, but look, Crowd Surfer's really good with a Tassadar, okay? Okay, Blackstormer. It means that your Tassadar wall will never screw up your ETC slide. Yes, you can drop the wall, but there are cases where you don't want to drop the wall because you want to keep your opponent captured, but it leaves your ETC still able to escape. That is my argument. That is my argument for Crowd Surfer. Also, lots of walls on this map. Like, this wall is really nice to have an escape into your safe zone. This escape here is really nice if you're getting invaded, or if you want to invade the enemy team over walls. Crowd Surfer opens up a lot of options for ETC, especially on Tomb of the Spider Queen. But I'm talking about a map, or a talent choice that's already been chosen as something not there, so no harm, no foul. Loudspeakers, of course, the standard choice, so not going to catch any flack from me for picking it, as much as I like Crowd Surfer. See right there, he could have dashed here, and he would have been much safer on that escape. But I'll stop talking about Crowd Surfer now. We do see the red Web Weavers descending, so good job by Freedonia getting that first turn in ahead, level 7s. Causing a little bit of interrupted rotations, a little bit of extra damage out on the side of Freedonia. We do see level 7s online now for both teams, though. We do see Plasma Shield, Beam Alignment. Remind me to talk about this Tassadar build after the game, because I want to recommend a Tassadar build that I've been getting a lot of value out of. And yes, Greymane with basically has no abilities. He's all auto attack. But he provides a lot of safe ranged poke. Leoric still hasn't picked a level 7 talent here. Just clearing the bottom lane, maybe going to pick it on the way up. There it is, Hopelessness. Increasing the range to hopefully stay on the enemy heroes a little bit easier. I don't believe that is standard, but I could be wrong. I haven't played Leoric in a while. Not sure how his talents have changed. Jakebot taking a lot of damage as he slides in on the team of Freedonia, but manages to walk out safely. The stun and the bootback and the Anduin pull, I believe, used to save him. We do see 3 medallions down for the side of... Oh, 4 medallions now down for the side of Illidancing Queens.
The clutch is ready to form again. Return the gems to me.
And another quick set of turn-ins for Freedonia. Feeling very comfortable on this map. They've been showing a lot of... they've been showing themselves to be quite a force. I think it was Gio that said it best. Once a team has made playoffs, there is no more sleeping on them. You may think, oh, well, they're the 7th seed. Illidancing Queens is the 2 seed. So this is a quick and done thing. But every team that makes the playoffs has a chance to make it to finals to win the playoff bracket. We do see Illidancing Queens posturing with vision over this bottom point, trying to get Yotaru turned in on Leoric. Maybe he should just make a quick rotation top lane, but going to opt to clear this siege camp instead. Good choice to try and prevent any of that pressure that it might have created, as they barely delay the D.Va turn-in, but delay it nonetheless. Oh, is Hopelessness really standard? I had no idea. I knew these two were standard. I did not know if this was standard. We do see pretty standard ults here from the side of Illidancing Queens with Tenza online. Falling Sword, in fact, by Joanna, maybe as an attempt to escape from situations like that with the Entomb, or as an attempt to engage, but I really do like Flesh Shield better in almost every circumstance. Orphea goes down to the Tassadar Archon, and D.Va Mech is blown up by the rest of Illidancing Queens. Very strong fight for them there. Nice post-10 fights going in the favor of Illidancing Queens to get themselves turned in for this next objective. Leoric opting to say, look, I'll hold on to my 39 gems. You guys get yours turned in. I'm not worried about it. We do see Cursed Bullet here and a big one-man mosh, but the Falling Sword interrupt will leave ETC in a bad spot. Wonderfully placed ult by Maev before that mosh started. Big Entomb here, but the self-destruct will push them away. D.Va giving them a lot of value. Orphea dies to the fort. Fortunately, did not back up fast enough. Tassadar puts a wall down behind Maev as she tries to escape. Maev will teleport over that wall. Guess who could follow her easily if he had Crowd Surfer? Just saying. Otherwise, pretty standard picks here. Micro Missiles, Twilight Dream, Warden's Cage. Looks like the Warden's Cage Eternal Feast is the attempted wombo combo here from the side of Freedonia. Going to be very disgusting if it can be pulled off successfully. We do see the Web Weavers cleared with no loss of structures for Freedonia. So very well done. I mean, they lost like walls, right? But they didn't lose any major structures. They didn't even lose the full wall top or the wall mid. I mean, they lost their gate, but that's it. And a second turn-in a row for the side of Illidancing Queens, but ETC just barely interrupted. Dark waiting to get that interrupt for the last possible second, give his team as much time as possible to join him in the fight. As it is a 4v5 here, though, favoring the side of Illidancing Queens, as Orphea is clearing mid. So not a great engagement here for Freedonia, and it shows. The Light Bomb, the Entomb, the Archon, all of it crushing pressure put out by Illidancing Queens just before the Web Weavers are summoned, which should give them an easy chance to clear this Web Weaver phase and get right back to their own, as they do have enough coins to turn in following this. Level 13's online. Yeah, Unyielding Despair. Oracle, Running Wild, Encore, Speed of the Pious. Yeah, Speed of the Pious very standard here for Anduin. This build I'm liking a little bit more. I like Moral Compass a lot. It makes it really easy to proc these renew stacks. Again, is Blessed Recovery, is that like meta now? Is that meta now? Because I didn't think Blessed Recovery was meta. I always go the Flash Heal heals Anduin, because I feel like it means I never have to cast Flash Heal on myself, and I'm like always full health. But maybe I'm just wrong. I don't play Anduin often enough to know for sure. Man, this is 2 days in a row I'm talking about Anduin builds instead of focusing on the game. We do see Freedonia gets the mid fort. However, with the simple wave pressure, Orphea clearing mid does end up getting them a benefit. As, yeah, the Web Weavers were cleared, but it doesn't look like Illidancing Queens has done anything else with that team wipe. Well, almost team wipe that they had. They are going to go ahead and fight over this bottom point. Falling Sword jumping in to try and take it, but the Light Bomb goes out onto ETC as he dives in onto the point. Lots of people being pushed around by the Maev ult. The point still not captured, but eventually taken for the side of Freedonia, taking out the Greymane in the process. So a big win for Freedonia there. They're catching up on levels. They took that fight smartly on the same talent tier. '16's now online for the side of Illidancing Queens, but they are still down a Greymane. Diva does have mech return. Orphea going to barely escape. Oh, just barely missed the Tassadar Q as well. Orphea has almost no health, backing in the middle of the fight. But Leoric says, okay, I'll turn in top. You guys are fighting bottom. We have 16s. Just keep them there. Yeah, inner focus again. I gotta try inner focus again now. I get that without bold strategy, inner focus maybe doesn't get as much value. Anyway, huge mosh pit from ETC, picks off the Malfurion just as Web Weavers come down, which means they're going to have an up 16 talent tier, 5v4 phase here. Very good for the side of Illidancing Queens. Let's see if they can get some structures down out of it, though. Thus far, have not gotten a single fort. 13.5 minutes into the game. We do see Executor's Will. very strong in combination with Archon, since Archon forces you to always be at full charge. So it's just basically a 20% spell power increase, 25% cooldown reductions. Sorry, 25% faster cooldowns. There is a mathematical difference. Big Entomb coming out from the side of Illidancing Queens, followed up by the light bomb onto the Leoric. Leoric getting behind the Orphea, knocking them down, and just wiping the team while D.Va tries to clear bottom, taking a 5v4 fight. Will give Illidancing Queens the chance to take boss here. They did get bottom fort, they did get top fort. They should look to try and get top keep with this boss. 16's online for both teams now, however. We see Fanaticism out of Joanna. Band of Anguish, Diverting Power, Ysera's Gift, and Vengeful Knives. Oh, you are right, each ally hero healed. Yeah, these two together seem really strong. I haven't seen that before. Yeah, I don't like these ladder choices from Leoric. I tend to see the damage reduction on his Shade is a really strong option, as well as the cooldown. I think there's a cooldown reduction on his Shade, makes him a lot harder to kill. We do see ETC go ahead and bump that bomb back to keep it off the Web Weaver. So both Web Weaver phase and a boss here for the side of Illidancing Queens. You see another big light bomb, hits nothing unfortunately, but ETC ready to slide onto the Maiev. Maiev not able to escape, but ETC falls in return as he got a little bit far in underneath the enemy keep. You do see Archon on the field, level 20s almost online for the side of Illidancing Queens. Once those level 20s come online, this defense is going to get a lot harder, especially if they lose Malfurion here, but he does manage to walk away, taking a huge pass at RQ, is fully stacked. Whoa, the lag spike as level 20s came online. This could be close to game here. I do think Illidancing Queens is going to go in. All right, I was going to say I think they'll back out without ETC, but they get the Entomb onto Malfurion. Unfortunately, Leoric will go down. I believe Raymane will also go down, and Tassadar will also go down for it. So, probably not worth it. Probably should have walked away. Did just give a 5-man team wipe to Freedonia, giving them the chance to come back in this game. They do have a turn in ready to go. They should get the lanes pushed out a little bit and look to turn in here, grab their camp while they can. Use this Web Weaver phase to push top and get the opposing keep to equal out that top wave pressure. Hopefully bottom fort will fall on its own to equal out that pressure as well, as level 20 is now online for both teams. We do see Glyph of Faith, my personal favorite level 20. We do see Bolt of the Storm, Buried Alive, Kala's Gift, and Hunter's Blunderbuss. Yeah, remind me to talk about this after the game. Why am I getting these huge lag spikes whenever I look at the talents? Look at that. What is that? All right. Level 20 talents here. We do see Heaven's Fury. So more resets on Falling Sword. The Eldritch Conduit, Timing Attack, Life Bloom, and Shadow Orb Vengeance. You see Freedonia stepping up in the mid wave here. Maybe looking to create some wave pressure of their own as top still has to push in against the wave. Not going to get much value from the Web Weaver there. It will be cleared mostly by the opposing waves. And honestly not getting too much out of this mid one either. Tassadar and Greymane clear these things quite quickly. The death wave coming out just before it falls. Freedonia moves to support the top one, and Leoric clears the bottom Web Weaver. So not a lot of damage done by this Web Weaver phase. Despite having the 5-man advantage, they were all up in time to counter the Web Weaver phase. And Freedonia looking, I mean, they clawed their way back into the game for sure. They're even talent tiers now. I think Illidancing Queens overstayed their welcome a little bit in top lane. Nice leap by the Maiev to dodge the stun from Jakebot. As we go ahead and follow Freedonia around the map, with Illidancing Queens following short behind. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Kala's Gift. I do see the value it can get in a big 5v5 team fight. But if you look at the side of their team, I guess increased spell power gives more healing. But other than that, you're not really doing much with it for their team. Doesn't seem to matter though, as a quick 3 kills comes out between the Entomb. The Mosh was not even used, as Anduin Lightmom follows up the Entomb every time. Wonderful combo there. Almost guaranteed. It's basically guaranteed because Lyric blocks the way out of the Entomb with his fat body. And it was a buried alive Entomb, so the full team silence does very well. And Illidancing Queen saying, all right, let's look to take this Ross again. Yeah, I think the extra healing that Anduin is getting is pretty significant. And the extra damage that Tassadar himself gets out is significant with Kala's Gift. But it's not helping the rest of his team all that much. They don't rely that much on spell damage. Like, Greymane is almost entirely auto attack damage. Leoric doesn't have that much spell damage in his kit. I guess he is going E-build, so that does bring a little bit more damage from that. But I tend to feel like Twilight Archon is the better choice there.
Red team's core is under attack.
But it is doing well for Illidancing Queens here. They are on the core with a full health boss. Don't want to see them afraid to step up. However, Falling Sword comes down, the bomb comes down, Archon is popped. So here, if you have Twilight Archon, this Archon lasts forever. He will have this Archon for the rest of the game. Instead, he will drop it shortly. That doesn't really matter. I mean, Kala's Gift, probably the better choice when you have Executor's Will. But GG's over to Illidancing Queens here, as I'm in the middle of talking about talents as the game ends. Not too much to highlight there, just really solid plays and very good engagements from the side of Illidancing Queens. Freedonia almost pulling themselves back into the game, taking a 19v20 team fight and getting a full man team wipe, 4-man team wipe, as ETC died slightly earlier than that. But still, the end of the day, the match tells the story as we see a win for game number 2 here for Illidancing Queens. They will be advancing to face off against FC Hong Kong in the semifinals. And let me see if I can get someone from Illidancing Queens into an interview on Discord. Have to go ahead and start up Discord again, as I was getting messages in the middle of the game. We are here. Let's take a look at the game summary real quickly. Tassadar getting a ton of damage out, like a ton in both categories. Greymane also following up with lots of follow-up damage, and Orphea putting out lots of damage too. So big damage numbers out of all the healers. I think wonderful plays by ETC. Jakebot doing really well on ETC there. Born to Shine playing Anduin excellently. I want to talk about the Tassadar build for a quick moment before we go into interview. Geo trying to schedule stuff in the chat already. Thank you so much, Nemat0D3, for the follow. I really appreciate it. Let's look to see what we can get for terms of interviews here. As I discuss this Tassadar build really quick. Let's hop back to my in-game chat. Okay. So here we are, right? This is the build that I like to go for Tassadar. I find it does so much damage. Actually, we're gonna do the interview first. I don't have time for this. Let's do the interview first. Hello. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hello.
Hey.
Strong wins there in both games. Very well played to both teams. But ultimately, you guys took the 2-0 victory heading on to the semifinals. How do you feel?
We're super excited. We didn't get to make it this far last season. You know, we struggled a little bit. I don't even think we made playoffs. So this is exciting for us.
Yeah. For anybody that doesn't know, because I didn't say it, we do have Born to Shine and Dex here in the interview. How are you doing, Dex?
I am doing well. Arcane, thanks for the cast. Looking forward to watching the VOD. But yeah, Freedonia, great team. You know, we had faced them earlier in the season. Always fun to play these guys. They're a great group of people and always bring it.
Yeah, both teams seemed very strong. There was a lot of back and forth in that second game. Tell me a little bit about the engagement you guys took to try and end the game that wound up with the 5-man team wipe.
Oof. I'll let Dax have this one.
Of course you do. So, yeah, I mean, we the dead timers. You know, unfortunately, we are on their side of the map. So dead timers were ticking there. We were pushing in. Yutaru, you know, he called for the entomb, and I think it just happened to be a little too close to that mid keep. And then we were kind of stuck in between those two and gotten slowed by the core. And it just kind of happened that way. But the nice thing is we've done this time and time again. The comms cleared, nobody really tilted, and we knew it wasn't over for them at that point because lanes were kind of pushed out.
Yeah, you guys still had your lanes pushed forward, and boss was already taken, so there wasn't much for them to do on the map other than get an objective in. So you managed to kind of mitigate the damage quite well. I don't think they even got a structure off of the counter push. It's very well done in your response there. I know a lot of teams may end up tilting at something like that, but way to keep your heads cool and collected and pull out the win for the end of the match. Hard to even remember really what happened in game one, but it was on Infernal Shrines, I believe.
Yep. Infernal Shrines.
I believe the big point that I kept seeing happening that match was you guys kept getting very, very good picks on the rotations from Freedonia. So you kept finding like a Li Ming or another one of their damage kind of out of position, trying to catch some soak to catch up, and managed to get those picks. Talk to me a little bit about how you guys coordinate those rotations.
I mean, it's something that we, like I said, since last season when we struggled a little bit, something we've been working on, you know, getting our rotations down, someone making macro shot calling and everyone following it. So, you know, calling targets, that's something we've been working on in the off season and then all of this season. So it's all kind of coming together now. You know, we were able to coordinate well, comms were clear, like Dax said, and once targets were called, we followed up immediately and, you know, got the results we were looking for.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Is there anybody either of you want to shout out before we head off for the night? I'll let you guys go celebrate your win.
Well, first of all, shout out to Freedonia. Thank you guys for the fun games tonight. We enjoyed playing the season with you. And to you, Arcane, thank you so much for casting us.
Of course.
Like Dex said, I'm looking forward to watching this tomorrow. And to the team, you know, you guys really showed up tonight. You put forth your best effort, and we'll be moving on to round 2. Dax?
Yeah. Other than that, you know, just NGS, just, you know, for putting this on season after season for us to kind of do this. And I guess IQ Nation in the chat, I do apologize. It looks like I'm reading some of it now, getting a little spicy. My little goblins in the chat, dude. So I do apologize.
You do have a lot of fans.
they mean the best, I do promise. And sorry if they did get a little toxic there, but shout out to them for coming and supporting, and hopefully you got some follows and some new friends out of the mix here for you.
Of course. Thanks so much for giving me the chance to cast your guys' games. Always a treat to cast any game here at NGS. Everybody's got such a great community going on. I do believe there is actually another match probably already underway that I'm going to try to kick us over to shortly. Thank you so much for coming in for the interview. Have a great night, folks.
You
Awesome.
too. Thank
Thanks.
you.
You too.
Thank you very much. All right. With that, I'm going to talk about this Tassadar build very shortly, and then I'm going to kick us over to another match that is currently in progress. So Tassadar, my favorite build for Tassadar is this one right here. Static charge, just lots of easy ways to charge the resonance beam, lots of extra damage coming out. Plasma shield, the shields for your health is just immense, especially when you have Archon active. Arc discharge. So this one's slightly different from beam alignment. This does give you more shock rays, which you would think, hey, you went static charge. So arc discharge causes, when your resonance beam is fully charged, one, it gives you more range, so your Archon always has more range. And it also allows you once every 20 seconds, really once every 10 seconds, as long as you're holding resonance beam fully charged, you auto cast Psystorm on your auto attack target. Then you pick up Archon, obviously very, very strong ultimate. Black Hole also strong, but Archon very, very strong. And then feedback. This is like the pinnacle of the build here. When an enemy hero is affected by Psionic Storm, Resonance Beam slow is increased to 50%, and it reduces physical armor by 25. So auto attacking now with a fully charged Resonance Beam automatically applies the Psionic Storm underneath you because of the level 7 Arc Discharge. Archon, so every auto attack from Archon once every 10 seconds will cast a free Psystorm under your target that will reduce their armor by 25, causing your further auto attacks to do even more damage, and the rest of your team, who's likely has some kind of AA damage dealer, to also be able to get a ton of damage out. Plus the 50% slow is nothing to sneeze at. And then I like to take Thermal Lance at 16, make those Qs hit for even more. However, Executor's Will also very strong, because it reduces those cooldowns and increases your spell power. And then Twilight Archon. Now you pop Archon and you are forever empowered as long as you can continue to auto-attack anything. So a wave, a structure, a hero, it does not matter. Your Archon will last basically forever. I have popped Archons with Twilight Archon that have lasted for 4 minutes, and I've never left Archon after getting level 20 in games before. It happens consistently. Kala's Gift, also a very strong option. Force Barrier, I would honestly say, is probably the stronger between these two, simply because it creates more kill opportunities for your team than I think the spell power really does. But that is just my opinion. Of course, I'm no expert. Go ahead and play Tassadar however you like. I will be trying out that build that I saw tonight just to see how it works out. Thanks so much to everyone for watching. Let's see if I can kick us over to another one of these games going on right now in NGS tonight. Let's see. We have a match between Team Rainbow Strike Go and Bloodbath and Beyond being cast by Fujin Akari. Let's go ahead and raid there. I just unlocked the ability to raid. Currently have 2 viewers. Let's go ahead and start the raid. Send y'all over there. Show some support. Let them know Arcane sent you. Have a great night, folks. Get ready for some more NGS action.